Adam, Donald Trump and Xi Jinping's trade talks were in the spotlight yesterday in South Korea, but now the APEC Summit is taking centre stage. What's happening now?
Yeah, so the US president has now left South Korea. He wrapped up his tour with that high-stakes meeting with President Xi yesterday. But the Chinese president, he stayed on in South Korea for the opening of the annual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, which is a bit of a mouthful, so let's just go with APEC. Now, you might be wondering what exactly APEC is. Well, it's a group of 21 countries, and they actually represent 50% of global GDP and around 40% of the world's population, so quite the standing. Its biggest members are China, Russia and the US, but also Australia and New Zealand are also involved. And the function of APEC, really, it's an annual meeting, and it's designed to promote free trade, cooperation, and the reduction of trade and investment barriers. Obviously, a lot of that is under threat at the moment because of President Trump's trade war and his America First policies when it comes to tariffs and things like that. Now, this year at the summit, President Xi is going to be there. That's kind of going to be the biggest headline. He's making his first visit to South Korea for 11 years. He's going to hold talks with the South Korean president as well as Japan's new prime minister. And with the US, with President Trump at least gone, it's a chance for China to continue to promote themselves as kind of a stable trading partner because of the way the US has been acting this year. The main thing to keep an eye out, really, is if they're going to release a joint statement at the end of the summit. They don't always do that. Back in 2018, they didn't manage to do that. So that's certainly one thing to watch, obviously, given the US-China tensions.
And Indonesia's free school lunch meal program is under investigation again after hundreds of children fell ill from food poisoning. What's happened now?
Yeah, you might remember this story. It made headlines earlier this year, and it's once again back in the news. There's a new investigation because now nearly 700 Indonesian children have suffered food poisoning after eating these free school meals. Just a little refresher, this free school meal program, it was a big pledge of the Indonesian president, Prabowo Subianto, as part of his election campaign. He won power last February. But there's been a whole load of problems with the scheme since, and apparently up to 15,000 children have now fallen ill after eating the meals. You might be wondering what is going wrong. The authorities are blaming it on poor food storage and also the late delivery of cooked meals arriving at schools for children to eat. Another problem that the scheme has faced is also a lack of kitchens in order to prepare all of these meals. The government originally set a target of trying to provide 83 million school children with free school meals by the end of this year. They're only set to reach around 70 million, and they're blaming that on a lack of kitchens available to be able to make these meals and ship them out. And I think it's now reaching a point where the president, this is one of his flagship policies, he's not happy with all of the problems, so he set up a task force to try and make the scheme run better, basically. And the Indonesian health minister is one of the members of that. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get a grip of this problem. But, I mean, it's not good. 15,000 school children getting sick because of a free school meals scheme certainly sounds a bit disastrous to me.
It's Halloween, so that means Tokyo is deploying the DJ police. Tell us more.
Yeah, the DJ police are going to be out and about tonight. They don't play music, which is the biggest shame of it all. But they're called the DJ police because they stand on the back of trucks and vehicles, and they have a microphone or a megaphone, and they're out speaking to the crowd. So they kind of look like DJs, but there's no music and flashing lights, sadly. But the aim of them really is to be a little bit like a DJ, sending out messages, having a bit of fun with the crowd, but also obviously there for a serious reason, which is crowd control and making sure there's no problem. And it's actually amazing how big a deal Halloween is in Japan. I know obviously it's quite well documented how popular it is in South Korea, but also the same in Japan as well. They're expecting huge crowds in Tokyo tonight. A lot of police are being deployed, including riot police as well, which surprised me. But I guess you've got to keep control of the crowds. The
zombies, Adam.
And the zombies, yeah, you've got to watch out for them as well. You need more than a DJ police for the zombies.
Do people really get dressed up? They go full out?
Yeah. So it's not just locals as well, it's tourists. So they're doing announcements to police in Chinese and English. Because they're also expecting so many tourists. But it kind of has become a bit of a nuisance problem as well. There's been incidents, I think about 5 years ago, a truck was actually pushed over and people were caught on camera, basically just overturning a truck, and it sparked a bit of an outrage. So there are some in kind of the Tokyo authorities who aren't too happy about this. But yeah, it's a big night in Tokyo, but have fun. but have fun responsibly, I would say.
Adam, before you go, in terms of trick-or-treating, lollies, do you have a favourite one?
Haribo, the classic original Haribo, they're my favourite.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Adam. That is Adam Hancock, our Asia correspondent.